In programming, you might have seen situations where your app is frozen, your user is staring at a spinner, and your code is waiting for a result, blocking the entire thread. There has to be a better way. Here is what's actually happening. Your application sends a request to the database and then it stops. It just sits there, waiting for the database to respond. The whole thread is frozen, doing absolutely nothing, just waiting for one response. It is known as thread blocking, and this is exactly what asyncawait is designed to fix. Think of it like a chef. A bad chef puts pasta to boil and then stands there staring at the pot waiting. On the other hand, a good chef will put the pasta on while it is boiling, chops the vegetables, prepares the sauce, and then comes back when the pasta is ready. Asyncawait makes your code the good chef. It says that go do the other slow thing over there and I'll keep working and come back when you're done. Now the question is, how do you write it? Two things. First, add the word async to your method signature that tells C# that this method contains asynchronous work. Second, return a task instead of the plain type. Task is like a promise. It says I don't have the result yet, but I will and come back for that. That's it. Your method is now non-blocking. Now to call it, add await in front. Here's the magic. The moment your code hits that await, thread is freed. It goes off, handles other requests, serves other users, and does other work. And when your data comes back, C# picks right back up exactly where it left off. No blocking, no frozen spinners, no wasted threads. That being said, there are some gotchas that you should always remember. Never write async void. If you have UI event handlers like button click, then you can write async void, but not anywhere else. Everywhere else, async void swallows the exception, and your app will crash without any errors, no logs, or no clue on what happened. So always return task. Another gotcha that you should always remember is never call .result or .wait on an async method. When you use .result, it tells that stop the thread and wait for the answer. But in certain environments, the answer can arrive only on the same thread. So the thread is stopped waiting for an answer that can only come through a thread that is stopped. It is a circular wait and nothing moves with that. So instead use await. That way it frees thread while waiting so the answer can actually get through. Now let's talk about the superpower. If you have two asynchronous operations that do not depend on each other, then don't await on them one by one. Instead, we can start both of them together by using something called as await task.whenAll. That way they will run in parallel and 2 seconds of work will be done in 1 second, and that's the power that comes with whenAll. The last thing that I want to point here when it comes to async operation is cancellation token. Long-running asynchronous operation should always accept a cancellation token, because if user cancels the request and move on, or the request times out, or the page is closed, without a cancellation token, your code will continue to keep on running and waste resources for a user who is already gone. So pass it through every time. That way, if a user cancels the request or something happens, we can tell the server that you have to stop processing. That is asyncawait. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video and leave a comment. And always, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe for more exciting videos. I will see you guys in some other video. Till then, happy coding!